Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we finished in the last session. This is where we passed in the last session. Algorithm and its representation. We talked about simple pseudocode and a flowchart. So now we are going to move on with other sections of this particular course. So now it's also possible to navigate like this. So we started here, introduction to programming. Then we moved on up to algorithms and its representation. Now we are moving on ahead with pseudocode. Now if you look at this, they talk about what is a pseudocode. So they clearly mention input, number of takeoffs, number of landings. These are the variables, and this is an assignment operator. Please remember, when it comes to single equal, it is an assignment operator. When they use sometimes if you later in the program will use double equaled. Double equaled is meant for check. You will check whether the particular variable is holding a particular value or not. So they talk about number of takeoffs, number of landings, initial number of flights, current number of flights, or variables. So these are the variables we use in this pseudocode. Variables are like containers. So I would request you to read this completely. Then we'll move on. So these are the basic operator being used. Operators are known as arithmetic operators, relational operators, basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, all are called as arithmetic operators. And double equaled. So I was talking about just some times back. I was talking about this double equaled. This is used to check. So relational operator, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and not equal to, all are relational operators. Then if you look at logical operators, and or not, so these operator basically returns true or false value. So we can look at some of the examples of these operators. This is what we had like and or NAND gate, right? If it is an AND gate, both the conditions should be true, only then the result comes as a true. For the rest all the cases, it returns false. For the OR gate, if any one of the value is true, then it returns true, and only one case when both are false, only then it returns false. For NOT gate, if it is true, it will be false. If it is false, it becomes true. Let's look at this example. They have given a simple quiz. Assume number 1 is equal to 5, number 2 is equal to 6. So we need to match the output. So simple as we did before. So number 1 plus number 2, it's basically, you connect it simply 11. Then number 1 minus 2, number 1 minus number 2, you connect for the rest of. I'm going to connect only. I'm going to match the answers only for 2. You please try for the rest of the things. So number 1 minus number 2, 5 minus 6, it becomes minus 1. So if you submit, let's see what happens. For the previous quiz submission, we had all the answers right. For this one, I have completed only 2. For the rest of the thing, I did not. So if you click on submit, you'll get an explanation saying your answer is wrong. Because you have not completed all the 5, that is why it is showing wrong. Why it is wrong? So it will show right when you have completed for all the 5. You can try out this quiz too. It's easy. You'll have to tell what will happen if number 1 is less than number 2. Number 1 is 5, number 2 is 6, less than number 1. Yes, it is true. So you'll have to do it this way, then click on submit. Yes. So please try to finish these quizzes within the stipulated time. Again, another one, match the output of the logical expression. So what will happen? What will happen is number 1 less than number 2, but at the same time they've used AND, so which means both the conditions should be true. So value of number 1 is 5, value of number 2 is 6. So number 1 less than number 2, yes, condition is true. And if you look at this, number 1 not equal to number 2, so which means this is also true. So both the conditions are true. You can simply select true. So in this way, you'll have to execute for the rest of the statements too. So this is another beautiful, exercise to work with. Now we have moved on to exercises of day 1. So exercise of pseudocode, not exercise of day 1. So this is where we are. Totally we'll have 3 plus 1 exercises. So exercise number 1. Write a pseudocode to represent the logic for converting a given number of days into its equivalent number of seconds. Very simple. All you need to do is drag and drop the required number of pseudocode magnets into the pseudocode box. This is where we need to drag and drop. They have given an example. If the sample input is 3, number of days is 3, the expected output is this. If the sample input for number of days is 5, the expected output is this. So now the first statement, click on it, drag it and put it here. This is the number of days. Then of course we know the final will be this, display the number of seconds. In between we'll have to calculate. There are 4 magnets available here, seconds, and we'll have to look at which one will suit our requirement. They want us to calculate number of seconds. See, if you look at this, 24 is missing, so it is incorrect. If you look at this, 24 is missing, is incorrect. If you look at this, only 24 into 60, which means 24 hours into 60 minutes. So if you add one more 60, then it will calculate number of seconds. So this will be the right one. Then display seconds. If you click on submit, your answer is right. So when you get your message like this, your answer is right, then you can move on. So they talk about flow controls. Flow control, basically it has got selection and iterations. The control structures, they say control structures, basically selection and iteration control structures are available. Selection will ask you to choose any one of the sections available. Iterations will repeat the task. Iterations will keep doing till a condition is satisfied, right? So can you think of some of the decision that might be involved in air traffic control? So that is basically uses decision making. Can you think of some of the scenario where iteration might be used in the airport? So let's look at some of the example they are given. See, simple thing. This is a decision example. So when a flight is ready for landing and the runway should be free. So now they are checking if runway equal to free, then you will give a message to flight saying you can land. Otherwise, you will have to instruct the flight to circle in the air for some more time. So sometimes ATC may have more than one alternatives for a given situation. If you look at this example, runway is not free, but the fuel level of the flight is little low. What will happen? It has to go for an emergency landing. Otherwise, things will go in vain. So they checks runway equal to free, then land. Else, if they add one more condition saying if fuel status is low, runway is not free, but fuel status is low, what will happen? So you'll have to ensure it is landed immediately. So it displays emergency landing. Otherwise, it has to circle in the air for some more time. Okay, so look at these are the 2 examples. They're asking you to check which one is the right one. See, if you look at the first one, this if condition starts here, it ends right here, and again they have got one more if condition. So which means it has got no continuity. This if section will be treated separate and this if section will be treated separate. So we should have a continuity. According to this, if you compare both, I would say this is the best. Why? Because it has a continuity. Only one if, you got a later if it has got a if, then else if, finally else. So I'm sure they would tell you this one. So again, this symbol shows this is the right code, right pseudocode to have. Now another quiz you have, another beautiful quiz. I think all these are easy. Now they want to logic. The pseudocode given below is written to identify the result of the football match held in the campus. Choose the correct logic from the given drop down to complete the pseudocode. So input my team goals, input opponent team goals. If they have given what they have given, display view 1. So if my team goal is greater than, is not equal to, if my team goal is greater than opponent team goals, you can say display U1. Otherwise, else if what do you say? If my team goal is less than opponent team goal, then they won. Else it's a tie. Simple. So click on submit. You will have a message. Oh my god. We win. Okay, your answer is wrong. But here what we have used is greater than or equal to. No, it is not. In fact I chose greater than. I don't know what happened. So if it is greater than opponent team's goal, then team goals, then that's right. I think so. Now let's say your answer is right. Right. Now let's move on. So look at some of the places where they have iterations. How they do for a immigration check for one passenger, how they do it for second passenger, third passenger. They have to keep doing this for n number of passengers. So this is where the iteration comes in place. So they say in such cases we can use a for loop. So there are several types of loop available: for loop, while loop, and in other programming languages they have got a do while loop, but this has only for and while loop. So same program, same pseudocode which we had these many lines can be simplified as shown below. Number of passengers is equal to 5, passenger count is equal to 1. This they call it as initialization, variable initialization. And this is condition variable. Passenger count should be less than or equal to number of passengers. So which is mean but number of, this is 5. Passenger count should be less than or equal to 5. Then passenger count equal to passenger count plus 1. So it has to increment. So let me explain how this works. This is a condition variable for which we will use this as for a condition check, and this is initialization. So value initialized to 1 now. Now it checks passenger count less than or equal to number of passengers. 1 less than or equal to 5. Yes, condition true. If the condition is true, it comes down. Immigration check done for a passenger, comma 1. There is a message it prints. Then what happens? It goes up. It increments the passenger count value by 1. So now the passenger count value becomes 2. Then it comes here, substitute the value of 2, checks the condition. 2 less than or equal to 5. Yes, condition true. If condition is true, it comes down. It displays this message. Then prints count, comes here, increment passenger count by 1. Then checks the condition, print the message, increment the value, checks the condition, print the message, increment the value, checks the condition, print the message. So this will get stopped when the passenger count value becomes 6. Then it comes here 6 less than or is equal to 5, condition fail, it automatically terminates. So remember, any loop has got 3 sections involved in it: initialization, condition variable, together after comma, condition variable, increment or decrement operator. So it has got 3 sections. So initialization is used only once, increment or decrement operator used all the time, then condition check will always be used all the time. So the flight has landed, the immigration check is done, and the passengers are waiting for their package near the conveyor belt. Conveyor belt keeps rotating until all the package are picked by the passengers. So they say, don't you think it is an example of a loop? Yes, it is. Now they introduce about while loop. No matter which loop it is, all will have initialization, condition variable, increment or decrement. So if you look at this, initialization is placed at the top, condition variable is placed within the while parenthesis, increment or decrement is kept as the last statement of the loop. Right? Finally we have while loop. Both will perform same operations. I can use for loop where I use while loop. I can use while loop where I can use for. Okay, so you need to guess the output. You can try all this on your own. Again, this example, we are moved ahead with quiz now. Simple quiz. It will ask you to check what will happen. What will be the output of this? Int counter. So counter less than 5. You will have to increment 1 by 1. So they say assume the input value provided to a variable counter is 1. So it starts with 1. Value of counter is 1. 1 less than 5. Condition is true. Then what happens? You increment the value by counter by 1. So counter becomes 2. Then you print. So what will happen? We will start with the true. Condition is right. Then it goes up. 2 less than 5. Condition true. Then counter becomes 3. It display 3. Print 3. Then what happens? Goes up. Condition checks. 4 less than 5. Condition true. It comes down. Sorry, 3. 3. It was 3. 3 now the value become 3 plus 1 4. You print the value of 4. Then goes up. What happened? 4 less than 5. Condition true. Comes down. Counter value become 5. What happens? It prints 5. It prints 5. then finally goes up, checks the condition. Now 5 less than 5 condition is wrong, then it ends, terminates the loop. So this should be the right answer. Let's see. Yes, your answer is right. So this is another beautiful exercise you have. So we'll discuss about these exercises in the next video. Thank you.